the American socialite who killed her mom and blamed a black man for it. Ruth Idella Thompson Dickins, born on June 9, 1906 and passing away on January 22, 1996, was an American socialite notorious for her involvement in the 1948 murder of her mother, Idella Thompson. Born Ruth Idella Thompson on June 9, 1906, in Leland, Mississippi, she hailed from a prestigious background. Her father, Joseph Wood Thompson, held influential roles in Washington County as a planter, cotton merchant, and key figure in various local organizations. Her mother, Idella Elizabeth Long Thompson, belonged to the esteemed circles of the Mississippi Delta social scene and was deeply rooted in the community through her affiliations, including the First Baptist Church of Leland. Dickins spent her formative years in the opulent family estate, a grand Queen Anne-style mansion nestled at 111 North, Deer Creek Drive West in Leland. Alongside her parents, sister, 2 brothers, and a cousin, she resided in this lavish abode, which underwent a notable transformation in 1920, adopting the colonial revival architectural style under the hands of T.J. Harvey and Company. Even amidst the challenges of the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927, the family home remained resilient, with floodwaters merely touching the top step of its porch. Following the tragic death of Dickens's father, Joseph Wood Thompson, in 1939, resulting from a gunshot wound in their home, she asserted it was a suicide, potentially linked to financial strains exacerbated by the Great Depression. Subsequently, Dickens' mother, seeking a change, sold their residence to distant relatives, James Raboon Jones and Josie Pattinson Jones, and relocated to the Joneses' former residence nearby. Dickins pursued her education at Hollins College in Roanoke, Virginia, graduating in 1928. Her union with John William Dickens on January 24, 1929, united her with a prominent cotton merchant and planter. John, son of a prosperous doctor, distinguished himself as a star baseball player and student body president at Mississippi College before founding the John Dickens Cotton Company. In a bid to support her mother financially, Dickens and her husband acquired significant portions of her family's estate, including their 1,800-acre plantation. The couple welcomed their first daughter, Dell Elizabeth Thompson Dickins, on September 10, 1934, followed by the birth of their second daughter, Dorothy Jane Dickins, on October 28, 1938. Residing in a stately mansion on North Deer Creek Drive, just a short distance from her mother's abode, the Dickens family maintained their presence in the community. Dell, their eldest daughter, later married Vincent Scoper, a future Mississippi senator, on February 11, 1956, before her passing on January 5, 2023. Described as a sportswoman, Dickens had a penchant for fishing and hunting. Known to be deeply attached to her mother, she often lent a hand with household chores and collected rent from farming tenants on her behalf. Dickens passed away due to heart failure on January 22, 1996, in Greenville, Mississippi. The grim events of November 17, 1948, marked by the brutal murder of Idella Elizabeth Long Thompson, unfolded with chilling detail. Thompson suffered a vicious attack, enduring over 150 to 200 blows to her head with gardening shears, resulting in severe injuries including severed fingers and lacerations on her arms. Notably, Dickens refrained from providing an official statement to the sheriff's office until after her mother's funeral. In her subsequent court testimony, Dickens asserted that her mother had summoned her to assist in pruning a shrub. According to Dickens's account, she retrieved a pair of gardening shears from her own garage before visiting her mother's residence. Upon arrival, she placed the shears on a porch heater and entered the house to fetch a glass of water. Allegedly, her mother then requested some paper shavings to aid in preparing a bed for her cat, recently having given birth to a litter of kittens. Dickens claimed to have returned home briefly to attend to her ailing daughter, checked in with her cook, Beatrice Smith, regarding dinner preparations, and subsequently returned to her mother's residence. Dickins recounted a harrowing scene, describing the moment she discovered her mother lying in a pool of blood near the bathroom. In her version of events, she claimed to have encountered a black man who emerged from the bathroom and attacked her with gardening shears while her mother lay injured. Despite sustaining injuries herself, Dickins asserted that she managed to gain control of the shears before the assailant fled the scene. Subsequently, she contacted their family doctor, also her uncle, who promptly arrived and summoned the sheriff. Initially, Dickins escaped immediate arrest, as authorities focused their efforts on locating the alleged attacker described in her account. Intensive searches were conducted in black neighborhoods, and stringent checks were enforced on vehicles driven by black individuals leaving Leland. However, inconsistencies emerged in Dickins' narrative, prompting further scrutiny. By January 1949, the district attorney presented the case to a grand jury, resulting in Dickins' indictment for her mother's murder. Maintaining her innocence, Dickins entered a plea of not guilty and was released on a $10,000 bond provided by her husband. Subsequently, it was revealed that Dickins held the role of executor in her mother's will. Medical records concerning Idella Thompson were also disclosed, contradicting some aspects of Dickins' testimony regarding her mother's condition. Despite Dickins' protests, an all-white, all-male jury ultimately found her guilty of the murder of her mother.